When I got licensed to be a foster parent, I thought I would take about a week or a month to decide when I should take a child. Literally, they told me, you have 30 minutes. Literally, 20 minutes later, I got a phone call. And they said, there's a little boy that needs a home. And I was like, no, now? I have never been a parent. I've never had a kid. Well, the panic set in because they gave me 20 minutes. You know why 20 minutes? Because they were looking for a family to take in this little kid. And they needed that quick, that fast to make sure that they could find a place for this child to be. And it happened to be me. When I get that phone call and it's 20 minutes, usually I go to my children and ask them, are you ready? Would you want us to take in another child? So guys, I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
I just got a phone call from one of the social workers and they just told me that there's a little boy who needs a home to be. So what do you say?
Yeah. To have fun with another kid.
Yes, have fun with another kid.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, hey, look, so that means you gotta share a bedroom. So would you be willing to share a bedroom with him?
With 4 beds.
Of course he has his own bed. But you're gonna share the same bedroom. So is that okay?
Yes.
And we share the toys too? And as soon as they say yes, we get into this panic mode or what we can do to prepare for this child. For us as foster parents, it's hard to prepare for someone you don't know. We know their age, we don't know their names, we don't know what size they wear, but we know our child is coming and that's all we know. And usually we do everything we can to make sure that it's comfortable. Is the bed made? Do we have enough food? Do we have enough clothes just in case he doesn't have clothes? And in that way is when we go into the move, because we know the child is arriving within the shortest time possible and we want to make sure that we do so. Also, as a foster parents, we have a choice, pick up the child or they drop the child. I prefer to pick up the child because I get time in that drive to make sure that he gets to know a little about us and also we get to know about him. Having been a foster parent for a long time, I figured ways on how we can make it comfortable to receive children. Children come to us in different ways. Some, you pick them at the police station. Some, you pick them at the hospital. Some, you pick them at Walmart with a social worker. Some, you pick them at a home where they are, if it's also is a respite home or a foster family. So there are many different ways. And for me, I figured ways on how to make it more comfortable. If I can go to the child, by the time they come to our home, there's some familiarity. At least I know the people, though I don't know the house, but at least I know the people. When a child comes to our home and it's the first time, one, it's overwhelming, meeting new people in a new space. So for me, I figured out how we can do it. In this case, we're going to travel to this family and pick up this little one. We get to feed him. We get to travel for at least an hour to 2 hours while he's getting to know us. And by the time he arrives at our home, you know, there's some kind of, I know these people. It doesn't sound scary, but also it reduces the trauma of the child because we got time to get to know him as he got to know us. So finally, we got to meet Jacob. He's a wonderful kid. Of course, I'd prepared my kids, so they were all excited to get to meet him. It was a joy to let him come to our home. It was a joy to see him walk in, and everyone was absolutely thrilled to meet him. Why? Because we were prepared. We knew who he would be. So it's been wonderful to have Jacob, and we cannot wait to get to know him as he gets to know us. Remember, it is scary for him, so we'll do our best to make sure that he's comfortable, but he has all that he needs. But one thing I can tell you, my kids are thrilled to have someone who is the same age, but also I think they're gonna have fun. Truly, I think they're gonna have fun. So think about, you've never met this family, you've never been in their home, and all of a sudden you belong or you're living with them. So for us as foster parents, here are a few things that I get to do. For every child, I try not to buy products or to buy clothes or anything. Here's why. I want to take them the next day so they can pick up their clothes, they can pick up their beddings, so they feel somehow they are part of the family. They feel like, wow, I belong here because I picked up what I sleep on. And I feel that is the best way to give an opportunity for a child to feel that they are part of you. But also it's nerve-wracking for the child coming in and for the kids who are in our home. One, they've never met this kid, they have no clue what he likes. They have no idea. The other part, also, they have their own stuff, toys and bed and bedrooms. And now they have to share all these with a stranger. I cannot imagine what goes through my children, but we do the best we can to prepare them. But especially for our new one. You know, think about, he's never met us, He's never lived with us. We have different routines. He has no clue. So the first time we get to do, we give him the routine. We say, hey, we go to bed at this time. This is what we do. You know, we take a shower, we put on our pajamas. So at least he's aware of what's about to happen. But most time, yeah, our little ones are scared. But also the smells of our home are different. Some they come from small little homes. Now you're in a big home. Sometimes you grow up, you know, sleeping with your sibling. Now you have to sleep in your own bed, in your own room. That is scary. And we try to do our best we can to make sure the child really is the one telling us where they are feeling comfortable. Is this okay for you? Can you do this? Can you go here? And the more they say yes or no, then we pull back. And that's the way we get to know our kids. And that's how I welcome children, you know? Yes, 24 hours is crucial to make sure they feel loved, seen, heard, and known, but also that they are comfortable. So for Jacob, one, we don't know what he likes to eat, you know, we don't know what, most of the things, but here's the cool thing. He's almost the same size as my little one, Luke. So I feel like he's really excited to have someone of the same age, and my daughter too is excited. They like the same things, the same games, the same toys. So for me, I can already see a good unification, that we are really glad to have him. For him, we're gonna learn a little what he likes to eat. Remember, we have 10 cereals or 5 cereals, different types in our pantry, but we don't know if he likes any of those. So we're gonna show him all of them. And most times they say that one, and we know, okay, if there's none, then the next day we're gonna go and buy something for him as well. You know, for clothes, he didn't have that much, so we had to go the following day to find ways that we can provide for him a few things. Here's the thing, my kids love to share. And Luke is offering, saying, hey, do you want my pajamas? Because they're the same age, same height, same size, same everything. So it's really neat to really see them bonding for this little one. And a joy that we get to have someone who needs a home. A few minutes ago, he didn't have a home, that we can provide that for him. And I'm thrilled that my family is absolutely excited about him. Well, sadly for children in foster care, they have been moved left and right. On average, by the time they're age of 10, they moved in more than 10 homes. So you can imagine, moving from home to home, does it make you feel good? No. Does it make you feel that you want to live there? Absolutely no. So when we receive the child for the very first time, they have no clue if it's for one day, it's for 1 week, or if it's for the next month. Most times they just move and they have no idea. For me as a foster parent, I gotta prepare myself. One, I know either it's temporarily or what we call emergent, or it's semi-permanent. Semi-permanent means 6 months and above. In this case, we know he needs a place for more than 6 months. I don't have to address those because he's still figuring out, how long am I here? Why am I? And who are these people? We try to really let him day by day, and along the way, we're gonna provide that for him. He's little, he's just 9. You know, he doesn't know much, but he knows he's been plucked out of his home, and it's not his first. This is number 7 of him. So you can imagine the distrust, also you can imagine the feeling, not again. So me as a foster parent, I do my best that I can to make sure that I provide safe place, and we'll figure out the rest later. You know, he might not like it, they might have to find a home for him, but if he likes it here, we want to provide that safe place for him as well. So it's both the child and you. And also, we are not taught about trauma of our kids. We get to learn along the way. You know, they say they don't do this, but you get to know them. You're like, wait a minute, I wasn't told this. So as a foster parent, I get to put those pieces together. Most time those pieces are not given to you, but along the way you put them together to figure out, wait a minute, what's wrong with this child? Where is he coming from? And is he a fit for my family? So I would say for Jacob, I think he felt at home. There's one thing he told me as soon as he arrived, I have a black dad. You know, that was just enough sign for me to say, I think he's comfortable and I think he wants to stay, to want to make this home his permanent home. And I think he likes it. The best example I can explain to you who are not foster parents, it's like going to your auntie you never met, or going to a stranger's home, or going to camp. You know, you have these roommates you don't know, but somehow you're gonna live with them. Or going on a date for the very first time. You've never met these people, you don't know them, but you're figuring out how. Pretty much that's what it's like being a foster parent. Your kids are figuring you out, and also you're figuring them out. Are we a good fit? Am I safe here? And that's really how it goes, that we get to figure out everything. Do they eat the food I like? Do they sleep at the right time I sleep? Do they drive in the same way I do? Do they go to school I do? What kind of things Can I find that they are similar to what I am? That's what they are gauging, you know? Are these kids nice? But at the same time, we, the parents on the other side, are doing the same. Will this kid love my kids? Will this kid not run away? I'm not kidding. I've had kids run away in the middle of the night. Yes, run away. Will this kid set my house on fire? I mean, literally, there's so much going on in your head as a parent receiving the first child that, yeah, most time we don't sleep because I'm not sure. So 24 hours with a new child is absolutely hectic, mentally, physically, emotional, in every way, shape, form you could imagine. And that's what it takes the child, and that's what it takes the parent. So anyway, if you want to learn more on how best you can be a parent, on how best you can prepare yourself, well, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe so you can learn more of how we take in children and how we even say goodbye. And we cannot wait to share with you more. So leave a comment, well, subscribe so you never have to miss any of our episodes on journeying with you as a foster parent.